Americans?
Oh, definitely. If we ever have to go back, which is not out of the realm of possibility, but the waters in the Middle East have always been murky, but they just got murkier. But we now have China coming
Mm,
into the country and Russia working in conjunction with the Taliban and actually recognizing them as a state government.
mm.
You know, China says they are there for those rare earth minerals that are there. And not only that, they are going to reverse engineer all of our equipment. The
Mm.
Chinese are going to have us figured out if we ever have to go to war with them. They're going to have all our military gear. And not only that, man,
Wow.
the Taliban, when we were there, they didn't have all this equipment, man. These dudes were riding around on horses with AKs. That was it.
Right.
That was it. And now they have some of the most advanced equipment ever. I mean, I saw the list of what we left. I say that's not a mistake. I said I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that does not seem like a mistake
Mm.
to me. You don't just accidentally leave billions of dollars of equipment. And I'll say this: when I was in boot camp as a private, Corbin, we were
Mm.
out on a field exercise. And know what happened?
Mm.
This laser fell off the edge of my rifle. I didn't realize it till we got back. Do you know what happened to me?
Mm.
Oh, I was threatened to the edge of my life, brother. You do not lose as a lower enlisted personnel soldier. You do not lose your equipment. We marched back to the field
Oh
three
my God.
miles and we looked until that laser turned up. And
Wow.
then still, my drill sergeant, part of my language, had my ass.
Mm.
He had my soul. You do not lose equipment. But lo and behold, nobody in the U.S. military stepping up to take responsibility. If this had been somebody enlisted or lower enlisted, man, that person's heads would have been rolling. That guy would have been done. But nobody, that's the thing. Nobody has stepped up to take true responsibility of this. It's
And,
unacceptable.
and we left behind some serious stuff. You said helicopters, just regular
Bro, oh yeah,
helicopters, or the
helicopters, man, we've lost behind, Humvees or mine-resistant vehicles, thousands of pairs of night vision goggles.
mm.
Now we used to own the night. That's what we always said in the military. We own the night. We can go and fight at night because our night, our capabilities, our night vision goggles and lasers, man. I remember
Mm-hmm.
we had these the night vision goggles and these things back in the day called Pack Fours. Man, I put those night vision goggles down and I hit that Pack Four laser. There's a laser that shot out from that rifle, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever I pointed it at, I could shoot it and I could hit it dead on
Man,
in the dark of night. But now the Taliban has
they
that.
got
That's
that.
absolutely crazy, man. And we
Wow.
just gave it all to them and just left. Of course, some people are saying, we destroyed some of the equipment, and the Taliban is not going to be able to keep up the maintenance on the equipment. But that don't even matter because China's there now. They have people that are going to come in
Yes.
and help them keep this stuff up to date.
Yes. Yeah, I can. Yeah,
We
I
know
can
we
see
set
that.
ourselves up for failure and we keep doing this stuff. Like I said, we are the reason that the Taliban exist anyway. When
Well,
Russia invaded in the 80s, what did we do? Hey, we saw the threat of communism coming. We started pumping money into them and taught them how to fight, gave them all of their equipment, beat the
mm,
Russians. And now we're going, what do? We created them and now they came back at us. And we've been fighting
right.
them for the last 20 years. And now we just gave them more stuff.
Get more
And
stuff.
if
Right.
we ever have to go back, it will be a bloodbath.
Folks, this is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host. Check out my website, booktalkwithcorbin.com, where I have good interviews like this with Gabriel Brigitte, a national security expert, and New York Times author. I also have an interview with Mr. Greenfield, who is raising some issues, questions, concerns about our military leadership. He says they seem to be more interested in dealing with this whole woke culture than winning wars. Pretty powerful statement right there. And we have with us right now Dexter Pitts. He's an author, podcaster. I Am Pitts, that's the name of his podcast. Brother, we got time for a couple more questions here. Are there any other things that's happening that's concerning you about, about the president, the economy, anything like that?
The biggest thing right now I'm learning more and more is that, things that happen on the national level are concerning, but what's happening on the local level is even more concerning, man.
Mm,
The crime in this city is just out of control. And the problem, Corbin, we don't have any officers. And I'm actually about to do my own podcast and I'm going to discuss it on there, but I want to tell you. So I believe it was last weekend or the weekend before. So between Portland, Russell neighborhood, downtown, and Nulu, we had 6 police officers and 2 sergeants to work. And while we were working, we had an incident where a lady and her daughter got jumped. And then somebody fired a shot. Nobody got shot, thank God. But we're there dealing with that. And the next thing you know, we get a call that there is an injury accident at 11th and Chestnut, and that somebody's hurting, that there are people sprawled out on the sidewalk. We couldn't go. We couldn't get there. So by the time we got there an hour later, man, these people were irate, yelling at us, and we were public enemy number 1. You all don't care about us. Why did y'all take so long? And my buddy, he's a great guy, but he was getting flustered. And, I had to step in and tell him, look, I got this. So I started talking to the lady, and I told her, like, look, man, I'm sorry that it took us so long, but we don't have enough officers right now. We don't. I'm sorry. If I could have been here sooner, we would have. What y'all need to do is y'all need to go complain to the mayor's office and Metro Council, because this is unacceptable. Citizens in this city, taxpaying citizens at that, should not have to wait an hour for a response from police. You shouldn't. That's unacceptable on any level.
But brother, aren't we hearing from some of these civil rights groups and civil rights activists that we need to defund the police?
Of course. And you know what happens when we defund the police? We're seeing it now.
Right.
Black bodies are laying everywhere and sprawled out. More children and women have been shot and killed in Louisville this year than any other year. We're expecting them to hit 200 homicides. Man. I was on a homicide scene the other night, and I just looked down. This guy's half his head's blown off. And I'm just looking at his brain and watching him die slowly. And it's become so normal now. I don't even feel like, I've been doing this 12 years, and I always have a piece of me that just just recognizes what people feels for them. But it's just so constant and repetitive now. It's almost every day you can guarantee a shooting. And now we got this young Black kid here in Louisville that's been kidnapped and held for ransom. And I'm like, this isn't even new. They had another one that happened last year when I got back. Man, they took this African guy, held him for ransom, didn't get their money. They plucked him full of holes and then dumped him over by the LMPD horse stables over by Iroquois Park last year. So this is another hostage thing going on now. And this is just constant. But not just here. Crime is starting to spill out of Jefferson County into the adjoining counties, man. We got people getting carjacked by young juveniles from here over in Hillview in Bullitt County. All this, the crime is starting to spread beyond our control. And the crazy thing is, it's a lot of being done by a lot of young kids. But guess what? We don't have any recourse from when we catch these kids in these, committing these crimes. We have to drive them to Odom County now because we don't have a juvenile detention center here in Louisville for our youth.
Why is that?
They shut the center down, I believe, a year or two ago because of finances, they said. And now that we don't have a place to take these kids, we have to have so much paperwork and stuff to do to get these kids under arrest and take them and lock them up in Odom County. But when you do that, that takes an officer off the street when we're already short. It is a mess. It is just a slow, steady decline.
Based on what you just said, I cannot make any sense of any knucklehead who would talk about defunding the police. I'm just not.
But yeah, man, it's heartbreaking, but they're saying defund the police, but we're actually getting ready to vote on this new contract here on the PD. Mm-hmm. And the raise is the first year of the contract is a 9% raise, and the second year is a 3% raise. And of course, they're putting all the stuff in there that they want from the police officers. And my feeling is, I was a hard no on the contract, but now I'm not so sure I'm a no on the contract because of the reforms that our FOP fought for that they were able to leave out. So there's a lot of stuff that that people wanted in the contract that we were able to keep out of it. So I believe it's the 409 project here in Louisville. Man, they were wanting a whole lot of stuff in there that didn't get put in there, and they're talking about it on their Facebook page, man. These people just want to control the police. But I'm like, well, you know what? If you want these reforms, you're going to have to pay me more than 12%. Because what we went through last year in this city, brother, 12% is nice. But like I said, I'm not here for the money. I don't have to worry about the money. It's not going to make me a bit of difference if we get the money or not. Right. But I am more so concerned about my brothers who need the money And man, what we went through last year, honestly, I feel like anything less than 20% is not going to
Mm.
cut it, because I mean, we went through hell,
Yes, you did.
absolute hell last year.
Yes, you
I don't
did.
ever want to go through that again, ever
Well,
again.
well, I guess I should say I'm only speaking for myself, but I do believe I'm speaking for many, many people here in the city of Louisville. We want increased funding for the LMPD, Louisville Metro Police Department. We want more police officers on the street, and we want, the police officers, the men, women, we don't care what color they are. We want them trained, we want them protected, and we want them to know, daggone it, I don't know about what all these other left-wing Looney Tune guys are talking about. I just want to be safe. That's it.
That's
And I
all
want
we all
other
want.
people to be safe. Just you go do your thing, I go do my thing, and I want to have to worry about getting in a car accident, serious car accident, and I'm laying around waiting for the police to come respond to it. Or what's happened recently around here, some guys had thousands of dollars of equipment stolen. Finally, a detective shows up and he says, I am swamped with work.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to hear that.
We are all, you don't. You want your stuff back.
Right.
But unfortunately, I tell people, man, like, hey, you know what? Honestly, like, man, should I do a report? I'll be like, honestly, probably not going to get it back, bro. I'm sorry. It's just the way things are right now. Like homicide, man. These dudes, I mean, everyone on the PD is just extremely overworked. And I told, man, we're all tired. Tired, man. It's rough, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I saw the post office was hiring the other day, brother. I almost went, but I was like, nah, I don't want to abandon the fight just yet. I want to see this thing through. I've already left once, but it's tempting because it's like I don't have to do this. I don't need the money, but I believe in, I believe in my job. I love my police department. I love LMPD. I love wearing that uniform. I love the guys and women and the gals that I serve with. Our commanders, our leaders, I love them all. They're flawed, but I mean, we're all flawed. But man, we got to do better. We need, and I say what they're proposing is not going to be enough to draw people in to want to come work here and to want to keep people to work here. Because guys have left this department to go make less money because they get more peace.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, we're gonna have to end on that note, folks. This is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host. Check out my website, booktalkwithcorbin.com, but definitely check out the podcast. I Am Pitts. Learn more about this brother, his thoughts, his views, his opinion, his life experiences, and please be looking out for his book. The title of the book is I Am Pitts, right?
Yes, sir. Memoirs of a Black American Patriot.
Great. Fantastic. So, all right, man. Let me get here.
Thanks again, Corbin. I appreciate you, brother.
All right. Appreciate you, too, and our community appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. You take care. All right, brother?
You bet.